Hi everybody, I'm Sam and this is my sister's diary. Hello everybody, welcome back to my sister's diary. I'm your host Sam and I have a really fun episode planned for us today. I don't really have time to do like a diary entry from me. So we're just going to get right into it. I have my cousin coming on. She is a doula and a midwife, and I thought it would be fun to ask her some questions about birth and what it's like to be a doula. So it's a really, really great episode, and I hope you guys enjoy. And without further ado, I'm just going to get us started right into that. So hope you guys enjoy. Okay, we're here with Ashley. She's my cousin, but she's also a doula, wife, midwife, all the stuff. So I'll let her tell you guys all that.
So I'm Ashley. I was mostly raised in the Uinta Basin. We moved a little bit when I was younger. Mm-hmm. We lived in a whole bunch of different places, but I've always just really liked birth. I remember very vividly, like, being very young, probably too young to watch birth stories, but there was that show on, I think it was TLC, called The Birth Story, and
really?
My mom and I would watch it all the freaking time.
I literally have never heard of that, so that's cool.
It was, anyway, it was super interesting. It always had women in labor, and I'm not kidding, we watched at least one a day, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So my mom actually became a doula and was a doula for a little while. And
was that recent, or like when you were younger she was
when
a doula?
I was younger, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So she like would attend births of family members mostly. Mm-hmm. But yeah, she went to all of hers and stuff like that. Most of my Allred side of the family, she went to theirs and things like that. And I went with her one time when I was 14. I stayed in the like waiting room the whole time. Mm-hmm. But she was also due with my little brother Levi at that time, and I begged.
Like, please let me go.
Yes. Yeah. I'm like, I want to be in the room. And she's like, let's do the waiting room. So I waited in the waiting room, and I got to see him right after he was born. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But when I was 16, I was dating my now husband, and she was pregnant with my youngest sister, Maddie. And I wanted to be in there so bad. And she's like, nope, it'll traumatize you. Absolutely not. We're not doing it. And her doctor and her previous doctor from her other pregnancies were in our ward. And they actually said, they're like, actually, it's really good birth control. You should let her. Yeah. You should let her watch. Yeah. And so I got to be there when Maddie was born. It was not good birth control. Like,
you're like, I want this now.
Well, this woman had her 7th baby, and like all she did was like crunch, and this baby comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, but that was like, I call that my first. That's like what she did. Yeah. Like did like a sneeze and
pretty much shoots out. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, here's this baby. She didn't let me come until after she got her epidural because she was just worried what that would be like for me. Yeah. But she was amazing. She was a rock star. So I call that my first doula birth.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
that's
then
so cool.
From then on, I just started. I started attending like families' births, some aunts and things like that. And then I had my own when I was 19, about a year and a half after we were married. Mm-hmm. And it did not go the way I thought. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally got this. I don't want an epidural. Like,
did you want to have a home birth, or were you good with the hospital?
I did want to have a home birth, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? For the first one, let's go to the hospital.
Yeah, okay.
So we decided to go to the hospital, and then towards the end, I was having some complications. Mm-hmm. There was a midwife. Her name is Donna Young. She has a book out, and she has this diet that she swears by.
What does the diet do? Like, it does it during labor?
She swears that so the diet's for your entire pregnancy. And she swears that if you follow it, you'll have an easier labor, easier pregnancy, like all of this stuff. Yeah. But with it, there's like some caveats. You can't use a microwave.
Really?
Yeah, like, which it does.
That's my whole pregnancy diet right there.
Right? Well, and I was working at L&L at the time. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, I can't bring a lunch I have to microwave, you know? Yeah. You can't have sandwiches because you can't have lunch meat.
Lunch meat, yeah.
Yeah, and so like finding something to eat was really hard. Anyway, I wasn't eating enough. I ended up having complications towards the end. Mm-hmm. And I got induced. And the induction had a lot of complications as well. And I ended up with an emergency C-section, which was nowhere on my radar.
Yeah. Like, well, a lot of women don't go in thinking, like, I'm going to have a C-section.
I I'm like, oh my gosh, I so got this.
Yeah.
Like we were.
That's good though that you went in with that
Yeah,
attitude.
they like started my induction, and my mom and I are walking the halls. My husband's asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
Honestly, he was very minimally involved with the first one.
That's how husbands are. And the first one, they don't know. Yeah.
He had no clue, and I had a mom who knew a lot.
Yeah.
So my mom's like, "Oh, you sleep, Nash. Like you just rest.
You'll need to be awake when the baby's here."
And then so I ended up having a C-section. My next pregnancy, I'm like, I really didn't feel like there was anything I needed to prepare for to have a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after a cesarean. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it'll just happen. It'll be so easy. I ended up going to 40 weeks, 5 days, which is just a little overdue. It's really not bad.
Yeah.
But my mom convinced me that I don't go into labor on my own. She's like, I always needed Pitocin. Yeah. I think you need Pitocin. So I called my doctor, said I wanted to be induced. He thought it was a great idea. I got induced, and I just didn't progress. I was dilated to nothing when I first started my induction. Okay. And after 24 hours of Pitocin turned all the way up, my water was broken, like all of this stuff.
Did you have an epidural with the Pitocin? Because I've heard that's gnarly.
It was awful, and I was begging for an epidural. Like it hurt so bad. I dilated to a 1.5.
Oh my gosh. I'm probably 1.5 right now.
Right? I'm like, I dilated to a 1.5. And then I was like, nope, I'm done. Give me the C-section again. I am so through with this.
So how long were you in labor?
A little over 24 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah, with the Pitocin all the way up, and then that's when I broke my tailbone and all of this stuff.
Yeah, she was telling me just before we started that she broke her tailbone during labor. Yeah. I was like, I did not even know that could happen.
Yeah. And a part of it is because the Pitocin contractions make you work like overtime, make your uterus work overtime. And so that was part of it. But like kind of just shoved his head the wrong way, and it shoved my tailbone out of the way.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I asked for a C-section at that point. And it was after that, about 6 months after that, I started my actual doula training.
Okay. So how old were you at that point?
I was 20.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't want this to happen to anyone else if it doesn't have to. Yeah. And at that time, I was like, I'm always going to have C-sections, like kind of resigning myself to that, I guess. And planning on it. And I'm like, I actually feel like this will make me a better doula in the end. Like I have done labor. I've done like scary stuff. I've done, Yeah,
you feel like you had a rounded.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I got this kind of a thing. And I did a lot of research on different doula training programs, and I decided to go with Childbirth International.
Okay. Is that a local? I mean, it's international.
No, but it is. It's actually based in Australia. Okay. But I chose them because they aren't based in the U.S. Okay. So the U.S. has not great maternal health care. Yeah. We have one of the highest C-section rates for a developed country and things like that. Mm-hmm. So there is Doulas of North America, which is called DONA, and that is a doula training program. That is more like it's, there's somewhere in Utah you could go for it, and it's just focused here. But I wanted something with a broader scope. Yeah. And kind of like check out some stuff. Sorry,
that cord's probably annoying.
No,
you can put it wherever you want.
You're good. So I chose to do that, and I decided to connect with some local midwives, and I know they were doulas as well, and kind of get a feel for what the birth community looked like out here. They were doing healthy pregnancy night, I think is what they called it, where they were like giving some nutrition counseling kind of a thing. And they invited me to come. So I decided to go, and I get there and I meet Heather Barson, and she actually had 2 C-sections and then had a home birth.
You're like, I'm interested in
that. Yeah. And so that's what got me started on my midwifery journey. It was like, anyway,
so you started that pretty quick after you started doula. Okay.
So I did finish my doula stuff. I am a certified doula through Childbirth International. Okay. And love being a doula. I am also a certified VBAC doula specifically.
Okay. I didn't know they did specific. That's
this cool. was like a more in-depth training for VBAC. It was through VBAC Link, and they actually have an awesome podcast too. So, but they are a Utah-based company, and now they are international. Yeah. And I just loved their training. But yeah, so that's where I started. I attended doula births for quite a while. It was actually when I was pregnant with my third that I started attending home births and really starting my midwifery journey. Okay.
Was that scary, like the first couple times?
It was, well, so like the first time, I just have so much adrenaline. I've seen birth, like I've been to doula births, but they've all been hospital births, you know?
Yeah.
And so I walk in and the midwife tells me, what did she tell me? She said something about, she's from Australia or something like that. Okay. And I'm like, okay, interesting. That's a weird thing to throw out there. Yeah. And I go in there and it's because she's saying F, 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 F. Oh, okay. And she's like, to her, it's not, it's not swearing. And I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, now it doesn't even faze me. Like when a woman gets to that point in labor, I'm like, oh, we're going to have a baby here, like really soon. Yeah. Anyway, but that's kind of where I started. Doula and midwife are very different roles. Okay. So when I am working as a doula, I am not their care provider. Like someone else is their care provider. They're either under the care of a doctor or a midwife or something like that. Okay. Either the hospital or home. It can be either for a doula role. But I'm mostly there to support the family to get the birth that they want, if that makes sense. Yeah. But also help them when things don't go that way. Yeah. Know their options, things like that. And then obviously physical, emotional support kind of a thing during labor.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Like with my first baby, whatever they said, I was like, okay. Yeah. And like I just didn't even realize they asked so many things. Or I didn't, like I had choreo with my first baby.
Oh, and I didn't know that.
Didn't even know. They didn't tell me until he was born. I could hear them like whispering. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, so what's going on? And I was like shaky, I had a high fever. And then I heard them say, she has choreo, you need to get the NICU team here. And I was like, what the heck's going on? Like, I don't know. So I could definitely see it. Yeah. If I had a doula there, that would have been so much more helpful to stay informed.
See, and like, a doula can kind of help. Because, there is a lot of that whispering, and I'm not saying anything bad against the medical community at all. They probably
do it so you don't scare them.
Absolutely. You're doing it so don't scare them. And then there's so many, like, what ifs you're trying to plan for as like part of the medical team, if that makes sense. Like, hey, this, you're kind of talking to your colleague, hey, this is what I'm seeing, let's be prepared with this and this, kind of a thing. But there's no need to tell a mom who has a big job right now, hey, we're going to be so prepared for your baby to have a super bad resuscitation, you know
exactly.
And so like I totally get it, but it is so good to have a doula there to be like, hey,
it's okay.
You're doing what you need to do. This is just what they're kind of making a game plan for. Yeah. I actually remember when you had your first, and you're going to think I'm such a horrible, awful person for even thinking this. No. But you went into labor early, like 38-ish?
With my first, he was only a day early.
Oh, only a day early. Yeah. Why did I think you went into labor so early? Anyway. But I was like, oh my gosh, she goes into labor like early and on her own, and she had a vaginal birth. And oh my gosh, it was so awesome. And then I found out he was in the NICU. Yeah. And that was literally what Nash said to me. He was like, yeah, you had to have C-sections, but.
Yeah. Well, that only happened with one baby.
Yes.
So.
Thank goodness. Yeah. Thank goodness. He's like, but we didn't have to go to the NICU kind of a thing. But I got so stuck in that mentality of like comparing my C-sections to, I'm like, why can't it just be like this? Yeah. But as a doula, I got to. Honestly, it really helped me work through my traumatic births. Yeah. Some things were more traumatic than others, kind of a thing, but I was so stuck in comparing my births to everyone else's.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I mean, if that's, birth is so, I just didn't realize like how, not personal is not the right word, but like.
Like it is a personal like journey. Like everyone's is so different. Yeah. And even my sister, like, we have very different labors. Like, we're sisters. You would think it would be
well, my mom never went into labor on her own. So I was kind of thinking, like, I'll probably be induced. But no, none of my kids I was ever induced. It just happened.
Crazy. Yeah. Yeah. And, I mean, I wasn't with my last two because it really honestly wasn't an option. Because it's really not. I mean, it is at home in different ways. But, like, it's crazy how different your things are. So even having a doula for that can be beneficial because most of the time, so as a doula, I'll kind of go through like what it looks like when you hire me as a doula. Okay. But we usually have a consult, and I never ever charge for my consults. We go, I meet your partner, whoever that's going to be. And like, we just see if we all kind of connect because that is so important.
Have you ever had one where you're like, I don't think we're a good fit?
Yes.
How do you like navigate that conversation?
Okay, so I actually just had one, which this was as a midwife. We were not a good fit. Like, I felt like every appointment I was talking myself in circles. Like, I was saying the same thing over and over, and she wasn't getting it. So what I did is I actually had a meeting with them, and I said, hey, I really don't think we're a good fit.
Yeah.
It's really important that whoever you hire, one, you trust.
Yeah.
Because I asked her flat out, I'm like, do you trust me? And she goes, I don't trust my own sister to be here, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
and
you're like, well, you need to trust me.
Yeah, and I'm like, you have to trust me. Anyway, so like I tried to excuse myself from that birth, obviously giving them a refund and giving them recommendations and things like that. One thing led to another, and they just asked me, hey, let's try again. Let's see if we can better communicate, kind of a thing. And so I took them back and did the birth and did everything. And honestly, it did not go well.
Yeah.
The birth went, did not go well in like the communication wise. Like I'd be like, hey, let's try this position. She's like, I don't understand what you're saying. And I'm like,
yeah,
I don't understand. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah.
And then we get to like even postpartum care. And with a midwife, postpartum care can go from, so like with an OBGYN, usually postpartum care ends about 6 weeks. Or like you have your 6-week appointment and you're done. And with midwifery care, you go farther. It can end at 6 weeks. Some people are done. Like some people are like, oh my gosh, I feel so good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Thanks. We'll see you later. So at 6 weeks, I always give them the option, hey, do you want to do an 8-week appointment?
Yeah.
And so I always give the option, do you want to do an 8-week, a 10-week, a 12-week? Do you want to schedule something right now? And she said that she just wanted me to check in around 8 weeks. So I did. I texted her and I never heard back. So I'm like, okay, like she's good.
She's good. Yeah.
She's done. And anyway, in December, she texted me asking if we could have an appointment. I said, for sure. At the time I was passing kidney stones and I couldn't drive.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I'm like, you are welcome to come to me. And I never heard anything back. I'm like, okay, she doesn't want to come to me. And she's like, sorry, I had a sick baby. This was like a week and a half later. She's like, can we get something on the books? And this was starting into like my kids' Christmas break. And I had already said, like,
I'm not doing it during break.
Yeah, I was already taking time off. And then we were going on a cruise. Oh, poor little me. So I didn't have an opening until January 17th to get her in. And she's like, I feel like you've written me off, all this stuff. So I will never like second guess myself as far as like, I know we're not a good fit.
Yeah.
Because really, it caused so many problems.
Well, it benefits everybody to say, like, we're not a good fit.
Yeah, it really did. And so that's been the one time that I'm like, I know we're not a good fit.
Yeah.
And I should have stuck with my guns when I, like, prenatally said, you need to find someone else. Yeah. It's happened one other time as a doula that I was a good fit with the mom, but not with dad. And so...
And that's important, too. Because it is about both
it was. And mom's like, it's really not that big of a deal. Like... And this was one when I was still a student. I actually used it as one of my, you have to write like reports on your births to get certified. And so I used it for one of those. And it was a good learning opportunity because we were having prenatals together. And what I do at doula prenatals, we really just talk. We talk about, hey, what kind of birth do you want? Okay, these are like the best steps to try and get there. Let's do a B plan. Let's do a C plan. C plan is always a C-section, but like not necessarily an emergency drop and go C-section. This is it's just a C-section plan.
Yeah, it's good to have that plan.
Yes.
Because it could happen. So.
And everyone hates me when I make them do it. But
you're like, we have to. We need to. It's important.
I'm like, I promise, just like make it and put it to the side. But if we need it, you'll be so glad you have it.
Yeah.
So this mom, she told me she did not want an epidural. And so that's the like information I'm going off of. Anytime a client tells me she doesn't want an epidural, I make her have a code word. That's something that doesn't come up in normal conversation that tells me I seriously want an epidural. Because if she just says, I want it. Sometimes to me, or for most of the time, it means you're not supporting me correctly. Let's try something different. So we'll try different positions and things like that. But I never want to push that if they're like, no, I'm dead serious.
Yeah, like, I want it right now. Yeah.
So I always make them have a code word.
That's smart.
Anyway, so this is the conversation I'm having with her. I have her code word. She's in labor. And she's saying, I want an epidural. And I'm saying, how about we try the shower? How about we try this? How about we try that? And her husband is getting so mad at me. And I'm like, what am I doing?
Like, we have a plan.
Yes. And the difference, not the difference, but the relationship, I guess. But Anyway, she hadn't told him that was her plan.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's thinking...
He's uninformed. He's like,
yes,
this lady
he's thinking
pushing.
that this mean doula isn't letting his wife get an epidural, and she says she wants an epidural, and dang it, he's going to get her one. And I'm like, dude, she hasn't said... I don't remember what her code word was, but yeah. And like, she hasn't said her code word. Like, I'm still just doing what I've been told kind of a thing. Anyway, so that was like another one. And part of that, like the problem with the rapport between me and her husband was the fact he was never at the prenatals, which at the time wasn't like a requirement for me, because I'm like, who cares, you know? Like,
it's just the partner. It's just the dad
it'll be fine. Like, but then that made me realize how important it is to have them there so that we are on the same page. Because
he's also trying to be a support person.
Well, we want to work together. When I have a partner to work with, oh my gosh, it just goes so much easier.
Yeah.
Like, when I have a husband or a boyfriend or just the significant other that can get kind of in her face, if that makes sense. Not like in an aggressive way, but like, hey, I am here.
Yeah.
And then I can do pressure points and counter pressure and things like that.
Yeah.
Those are the really awesome births.
Yeah.
Those ones do go really
those
amazing.
Those are the best. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Those are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many, I mean, maybe you don't know, how many have you done? Like,
so I know it's over 100.
Wow.
But see, and that's actually not that many.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. That's so cool though that you get to like see that.
Yeah, it has been, it's really been awesome. There's obviously been hard ones and things like that. Yeah. But it is a really awesome calling.
Yeah.
I say calling just because there are those really hard ones. And so you kind of have to feel called to it. Like, I know even L&D nurses, they say the same thing. Like, they're like, if you're not, like, if you don't have a passion for this, like, you're not going to make it kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Because, you definitely have those hard ones and got to come back from, or husbands that you're going to sit there and fight with.
Yeah.
So
I don't think Robbie would be like that, but maybe.
It really helps, like, when you have that, you do those, like, prenatal appointments kind of a thing. So, I've really talked in a circle. I have not even done. I'm, like, all over the place.
Good. I have some questions.
Yes.
Let me find some of them. I think you're doing amazing.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Okay, so we talked a little about your birth. Do you want to talk about your home births at all?
It's not like they're secrets, but like there's just nothing.
Yeah, you were able to have.
I was able to have both of my girls at home. Mm-hmm. I guess the most like empowering thing. So I actually hired a doula for my first home birth, because I knew how important it was to have that support. Like even having midwives at home, it's not the same as having a doula.
Yeah,
they still have charting they need to do. They still need to be thinking, like I talked about earlier with the medical team.
Yeah.
They need to be kind of thinking 4 steps ahead. And it's kind of hard to do counter pressure when you're trying to analyze a labor pattern.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I hired a doula for that and had my home birth with my first girl. And it was just really empowering in the fact that I went into labor on my own.
Mm-hmm. So how did you wait longer? Like,
no, I really didn't wait that long. So I hit my 40-week mark, and let's see, how many more days was it later? I think I hit 40 weeks on a Saturday, and it was Sunday night at midnight. I had my first contraction, and it was long, and that's normal for a VBAC labor. We honestly call it a first-time pusher labor, just because you've never done labor on your own.
Yeah.
And so if you count from first contraction to when I had her, it was like over 2 days. But from like active labor, I think it was around 16 hours or so of active labor, which isn't great, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, you were a trooper. I was in active labor for like 3 minutes, and I'm like, get me an epidural.
I said get me an epidural.
Yeah.
I said I was done. I wanted to go to the hospital. And that's kind of when my doula came in, and she's like, hey, is that really what you want?
Yeah.
Especially where I'd had 2 C-sections already. If we went to the hospital, I was for sure having another C-section.
Yeah.
And anyway, I ended up staying at home, but I will fully admit I was a baby the whole time. I was whiny and
You know what? You can be whatever you want to be when you're in labor. You can be a baby. You can be mean. You can cry, whatever.
But like, it really was because of my doula and my midwives, though, that she that I had a home birth because they knew the different positions to put me in. I didn't just do, it was definitely not the romanticized, like, home birth, like, flowers, rose petals. No, that is not what it was.
Did you have a birthing tub?
I did have a birthing tub, and I got in it, and we set it up. It was so dumb. So my house is kind of like an open concept house, and I didn't want to put the tub on the carpet. You know, I didn't want it to get wet, heaven forbid. So I put it on the tile, and where we set it up was in the kitchen. My kitchen's kind of like big and open, roomy. And we put it in the kitchen, and it was like direct sight from, there's a window in my front door. And you can just see me. And it is the middle of the night, but
still.
I felt like I was on display. I felt like I was like, had a spotlight on me.
Yeah, like the hospital.
I did not progress at all in the water. And so I got out. With my second home birth, I did actually have a water birth, and it was super amazing.
That's so cool.
But I had it in my room.
Somewhere else,
Yeah, and that was a lot, like, cozier kind of a thing.
That's so cool.
You actually kind of want that cozy feeling when you're in labor, whether you're in the hospital or at home. But helps things to progress a little bit better. Anyway, but yeah, it was because they knew spinning babies and things like that we were able to have a home birth and have an awesome VBAC experience.
That's so cool. So, I'm so glad you got to do that.
Oh,
I mean, that's what you wanted. So
me too.
That's way cool. How was it like? I hate being in the hospital after the baby's born. So just being able to like go in your bed.
So
was that so nice?
With my first C-section, everyone told me, stay in the hospital. Oh my gosh, don't go home. Like, as long as they'll keep you, stay in the hospital. So I was induced on a Sunday night. I think like, no. A Monday night is when I was induced. And we didn't get home till Friday after my C-section. Because everyone's like, stay there. Oh, as soon as we were home, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much nicer. That is the best part of home birth.
Yeah. I literally almost considered it because I was like, with Ellie, my second, sorry, I literally interrupted you. But I felt like I was in prison afterwards. I was like, get me out of here. I'll sign AMA. I don't care. Like, so my third baby, I was almost like, I don't think Robbie would have. He just was on board.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm like, it won't
absolutely.
work. So, but.
You have to have a partner that's on board. I will say I pushed Nash.
Yeah.
To be on board. And now he's like the biggest advocate for it. He really is. He's like, why in the world would you want to go to the hospital? You get to sleep in your own bed. That's his biggest thing.
You don't get woken up 1,000 times by monitors. And...
It does usually take midwives about 4 hours usually to kind of get out of your space after, not like totally out of your space. Like they're kind of in and out of the room, checking on things, doing exams, things like that, cleaning up.
Yeah.
But around that 4 or 5 hour mark, like they're gone. It's just you, your husband, and the baby.
Yeah. That's so nice.
To sleep.
Yeah.
And no one, like, I mean.
You're in your own bed.
Yeah, you're in your own bed. You do have to set an alarm because you got to, check on you and baby.
Yeah.
But, like, that alarm's for 2 hours. So, like, you get a solid 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, and baby's so sleepy in the beginning, so it's so nice.
Yeah, and then, like, you get up and get in the shower, and it's your shower. So nice.
Yeah, that is so nice.
That's the best part.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
That's, like... one thing with a hospital birth, I'm like, I just wanted to just go in my own bed afterwards. But,
yeah, I totally understand it. That was super awesome.
Yeah, that's so cool. Okay, let's see. We've talked about the difference between between doula and midwife. How long have you been a doula? Okay. Oh, so do you offer, I've heard of like postpartum doula.
Oh, yeah.
Do you do that?
So I'm just starting into that.
Okay. So what does that look like? What do you do?
So the difference between postpartum and birth doula. So a birth doula, I do the birth, obviously. So I meet with you prenatally, usually once or twice, and we just really talk about what are your hopes for the birth kind of a thing.
Yeah.
We do generally talk about what's your postpartum plan, and that means like how much time does your partner have off?
Yeah.
Or like, is your mom coming to stay with you for a little bit? Are you going to go home and stay with like your parents? Anyway, it usually covers things like that. And then after your baby, I always do breastfeeding support. I am not, what's it called? Why can't I think my mind?
Lactation?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm a lactation counselor.
Okay.
That is different than like a lactation consultant or something like that. So like I'm trained in basics, if that makes sense. I can tell if your baby has a tongue tie.
Yeah.
I can help you get babies latched and things like that. Really advanced problems, I would refer to someone else. But so that always comes with a birth doula support. And then we meet like one time postpartum, usually talking about how is postpartum going, how are you feeling, how are you doing mentally and emotionally, things like that. But a postpartum doula, you'll meet once prenatally to talk about your postpartum plan. That is your main focus. You, if you're hired as a postpartum doula, not a postpartum and birth doula, but just postpartum, you probably actually won't see them in the hospital. Okay. Sometimes they'll have you come and help with breastfeeding possibly. But usually it happens once they get home. And a postpartum doulas are kind of, everyone's a little different. There's not like a set of rules. Yeah. Some of them do like light housework. So generally what it is light housework, making meals, helping with breastfeeding and things like that, helping with, some doulas help with like sibling care. Some doulas only do baby care. You teach parents different things. And then there's a postpartum night nurse that will actually come
That's what I needed.
Yes, that will actually come at night, and pretty much, like I said, depends on the nurse. I mean, not the nurse, sorry, the doula. But most of the time we'll just hold your baby or watch your baby while they sleep and bring you the baby when they need to eat. Or give them a bottle if that's what you want, kind of a thing. Yeah. And so there's postpartum night nurses as well.
So is that what you do
That's what I'm like starting to do, just barely. Okay. Mostly because it's a tiny bit more predictable than birth work. Yeah. So with birth work, whether I'm a midwife or a doula, I'm on call
like all the time.
Yeah, for all the freaking time. But like contract from 37 weeks to 42 weeks, that's a 5-week margin.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah,
and
that
you
I'm
have multiple clients.
Yes,
so.
that I'm telling my kids, no, we can't go to Salt Lake. That's too far. Yeah. No, we can't go to the lake because what if I don't have my phone? It takes too long to pack up. Yeah. Whereas with postpartum work, yes, I have their due date and they could have their baby anywhere in that due date.
But you have time to get back home.
Exactly.
If you
need to. You usually have at least a day. Yeah. To get where you need to go. And then it's usually a little bit more planned out as far as like, I want you from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. kind of a thing. Or, you know, I want you starting at 6 p.m. at night to 6 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. Whereas with birth work, they could go into labor at 6 a.m.
It could take 48 hours. It could take 12 hours. You never know.
It could go all over the place. And so, and during that whole time, I'm having to make like, childcare and this plan for this plan and this plan if I don't make it to this, and you know maybe I was supposed to make food for a funeral and now I've got to like get a backup plan for that. And so just like where I'm at in my life, postpartum doula stuff, a little bit easier.
Yeah, just with because you have 4 kids.
Yeah,
4 kids.
Crazy.
So your oldest is 9.
He's 10.
He's 10. He just turned 10.
Mm-hmm.
Or did
in
he
November.
Not? Okay. Because I was like, we saw you at the reunion and he was 9.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, so he just turned 10 in November.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, so I have a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 1.5-year-old. Okay. A very clingy 1.5-year-old.
Well, I have clingy 3 kids. So
that's my last 2 are definitely a lot clingier. Well, yeah, they're different.
It's hard with your last. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's not your last.
Oh, 110% my last. Like no question.
This is most likely our last. Yeah. And I just. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll never get to do this again. Or this. And Robbie's like, you got to stop that.
Yeah, switching her to her own room, her own bed, that was really hard.
Yeah. Like, hard for you or hard for her?
Yeah, hard, both of us. Yeah. But I'm like, I will never have another baby, like baby.
In your room.
In my room.
Yeah,
like,
I'm literally going to cry thinking about it.
Oh, I know. I'm like trying not to. It's so hard. It's so hard. But that's honestly another place that a postpartum doula can kind of come in, is talking about those emotions and talking about your feelings with the birth. That client I was telling you about that we really did not hit it off. Mm-hmm. It would be so beneficial for her to have a postpartum doula who is not me, to talk about those feelings and be like, dude, my midwife sucked. Like,
whatever.
Like I would tell her this and like she didn't get it, and she would tell me this and I didn't get it. Like,
just talk about the birth. Yeah,
talk about the birth and talk it out. If you can talk about it more in those first few weeks, you are way less likely to have trauma and stuff from it. They can also help with, and by help I mean like talk through feelings of postpartum depression, anxiety, postpartum psychosis, things like that. And I mean, postpartum sucks.
It really does.
And that's when everyone...
No way to put it other than that.
Everyone is just like, oh, you had the baby. You're not pregnant anymore.
Yeah, you're good.
Aren't you good? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't know. For me, it usually takes about 1.5 years that I don't even realize how bad I get, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
postpartum, until I get to that 1.5 year mark. And I'm like, oh,
Like, wow, I feel like a person again.
yes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, I'm not this angry monster all the time.
That's me.
So-
I do get angry. Do you,
Yeah.
so were you like that with all of your babies, kind of?
With postpartum?
Yeah.
I would definitely say it got worse. I don't know, just the more kids I had. And I don't know if it's maybe I recognized it more the more kids I had,
Yeah.
or if it's a little bit more socially acceptable at the same time too, if that makes sense. Like postpartum, there's still so much that's swept under the rug and people don't talk about and things like that. But my mom was so stressed I was going to get postpartum depression with my first. I was home on a Friday from a C-section. She came and picked me up and dragged me to Holidays.
She's like, we're going out.
Like a craft fair.
Yeah.
And made me leave my baby.
Oh.
We ran into someone who's like, look at your cute belly, because I'm still fat. I just
You're
had
like,
a baby
I just
for
actually had the baby?
Yes. And I'm like, the baby's just not here. I pretended I was pregnant. I was like, not going to have that conversation. Yeah. But
I would too.
Anyway, so like I definitely have had enough experiences that I feel like I can help in some ways, or at least be a listening ear.
Well, yeah, going through it definitely helps you understand.
And I just,
sure.
I don't want people to feel like that after they have a baby. It's especially when you feel alone. My mom's amazing. She truly, truly, truly is. But I was very much raised, well, not that you're not in control of your attitude, but you know, like you can change it. You have to be positive. You have to do this. And that was really hard.
Yeah. Well, you can't think your way out of postpartum depression, even if you wanted to.
I couldn't, think my way or schedule my way, because I have a very type A mom that's like, you just have to have a schedule. Yeah. And I'm like, I can't stick to my schedule. Yeah. I can't. Impossible. Like, I can't get up at 5 a.m. and anyway, and putting your baby on a schedule. And things like impossible. That. Right? There are postpartum doulas that can also help with sleep training your baby if you decide to do that in the beginning. And they can just help with like little advice. You know how babies, most of them, come out with their days and nights mixed up. Yes. Yeah. So that's something like I've kind of learned how to help, I would say, more gently, if that makes sense, versus like a crying out method or something like that. Yeah,
especially when they're so tiny. I don't even know if crying out works.
I have an aunt and uncle that do it, and they swear by it.
From I think that the birth?
No, they started shortly after Kate. I really can't remember if they started around 2 weeks or 6 weeks, but
something around there.
It's one of them that they started, and I don't want to ever put it down, because every parent, there is not a single parent out there that's like, I chose to do this because I thought it would be worse.
No, everyone does what they think is
exactly.
The best,
every parent is just trying to do what's best, like, and they're just trying to do what's best for them and that baby. And it might change with each one. Kind of a thing.
Definitely. We couldn't with Hudson. We tried crying it out for months. Yeah, and he just wouldn't stop crying. And
I sat there and cried on the other side of the door.
Yeah, I'm like, can I please just go in?
I think we tried cry it out, honestly, with every single kid at least once. Maybe not our last, because I was just like, that's not going to work.
No, this is my last baby. I'm not ever going to hear them cry.
Exactly. But like, okay, so there is usually a stretch with a newborn. Like, I'm talking newborn. They usually have a 4-hour stretch somewhere. Yeah. If they have their days and nights mixed up, they're trying to take that during the day. Yeah. And so I kind of help teach you how to extend that, like kind of just push it little by little by little till we get that to the night. And that's like some things that postpartum doulas can do.
Well, that's like invaluable, honestly, because a lot of like stress and a lot of stuff comes from lack of sleep, and you can't sleep if the baby's always awake.
You can't be a good mom. You really can't. And like, I know there are times, even if you're breastfeeding or something like that, that I will advise get someone to take a shift.
Yeah. Like, just get some sleep.
Yep. Get some sleep. Because if you can't, you're not going to produce milk. You're not going to be a good mom. And that's like, anyway, I have this like little print off. It's called Mommy Melancholy. And it's usually if you're having one of those days, you look at it and it's, have I gotten, I think it's like a solid 3 hours of sleep. Like, just
that makes such a
3 hours
difference,
stretch. Yeah. Oh yeah. That first like 4 hours that you get and you're like, oh my gosh, my boobs hurt. But
you wake up and you're like, was this worth it?
But you're also like, oh my gosh, we're gonna deep clean this house. Like, I have so much energy. Good. Yeah. And so anyway, but it's just this little print off I give to all of my clients. But I also give them, whether I'm a doula, midwife, whatever, I always give a postpartum anxiety. It's a self like filled out sheet. But it's pretty much like just a thing that you score. A depression one and things like that. And they can share it with me if they want to, but it's mostly for them to know if is it time
What's
to
happening?
get help?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. Yeah, because I was definitely, like, I did medication with some of mine.
Yeah.
Some of mine I encapsulated my placenta, and it still didn't cure everything.
Do you feel like it helped, though?
It did help.
Yeah.
Yes, I did notice a difference on the days I took it versus the days I didn't. But still, there's nothing like the medication sometimes.
Honestly, I still take medication.
Yes,
so I'm all about that. Whatever people want to do. Some people really don't want to go that way.
Yeah,
so
they don't, and then we'll have some more holistic options. There, I've actually met a really awesome. She owns it's like a health food store.
Okay.
In Duchesne called Nourish, and her name's Shantae Nilsson, and she's a doula, midwife, all the things. Her herbal knowledge and homeopathic knowledge is insane.
Yeah.
She's been studying this for I don't even know how long, forever.
Long time. Yeah.
I think since she was like 14 or something like that. There is nothing I can't text that woman, and she's not like, oh, I know exactly what you need.
Yeah, try this.
So we know the homeopathic medicines and things like that. As a doula, you shouldn't ever recommend, hey, you should take this. I can be like, this could help you. You need to talk to your care provider.
Yeah, always refer to the care provider.
Yeah, as a midwife, I can do it because I am your care provider.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I am a doula, I always refer to the care provider.
Yeah. So what's your favorite thing? Birthing doula, midwife, postpartum doula.
So hard.
It's so hard. Kind of all different.
Yeah, because postpartum doula, especially a postpartum night doula, you get to snuggle a baby.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. I'm like, how do I do that?
Yeah, I'm like, it's pretty hard to beat that. But being a doula, like, it's really awesome to see when everyone gets to that moment where you're like, I can't do it.
Yeah, and you get to help them through that.
And it doesn't matter if they have an epidural. There's going to be that moment where they're like, I can't do it.
Yeah, even with the epidural.
And like to help them through that is really, really awesome. And then as a midwife, to see those home births, see dads catch their own baby or something, or a mom.
Yeah. Did you catch your baby?
I did.
Oh, that's so cool. You make me cry too.
So stupid.
No, that's not stupid at all. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Truly.
Oh, it's really awesome. They all have so many awesome things that, I was looking at the questions you sent me, and one of them was, what was your favorite birth or something?
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
And I won't be able to talk. My gosh.
Okay.
No one's going to want to listen to this podcast with someone boobing. No. Anyway, but it's really, the best ones. Oh gosh, it's really hard to pick because there's so many.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, this is like, it's good that you are so passionate. Like I can tell that you're so passionate about it, and it's
so
something you love.
Important. Yeah. And okay, I'm gonna get my emotions under control. Give me 2 seconds.
We could pause, honestly, if you need to pause.
There we go. It's so important, and something that like women, they're not necessarily shamed for hiring a doula or something like that, but it's like
why do you need that?
Yeah.
Well, truthfully, I've even thought that. Like, but before I had kids,
absolutely,
I was like, what's a doula?
Yeah. Why would you? Yeah. Why would you need? Why do you want to invite someone else into the room? You know,
like I didn't understand, but
this is a really personal thing, and I think that's the biggest thing that honestly people don't understand. Sometimes you understand even prenatally when you hire a doula, you're like, oh, I can see the benefit.
Yeah.
But when you actually have a doula there at your birth, you'll never go back. Like, it's so different, especially in the hospital, because it's someone you're familiar with. Depending on what hospital you deliver at or birth center or anything like that, you could have the care provider you've been seeing for the last 9 months. You could have someone totally different.
Well, I'll tell you, with all 3 of my births, I didn't have my own doctor.
Yeah, and
it was a different doctor every single time.
I feel like the doctor's a little bit easier to get around just because they're there for the last and you're not thinking about too much. But like, you don't know these nurses.
No, and you have so many. Like they have shifts that go, they come.
Exactly.
They go.
Maybe you have one that you so bonded with, and now it's night shift and she's gone.
And she's gone. She's not even there for the real birth.
Yes, exactly. And they can't stay. Like I hate that for them.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the really awesome things. So I actually just did a volunteer doula birth at the Vernal Hospital, Ashley Regional. they called and asked me if I would be, it was a special situation. They called and asked if I would be willing to do it. And I definitely was, but I knew I wasn't going to get paid for it. I was taking time away from my family. And so I told them, I'm not going to be able to stay the whole time. We're going to do this in shifts.
Yeah.
And they're like, absolutely. You got to do what you got to do, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't leave.
You're like, I have to stay now.
I
that I'm
had to
here.
stay.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I loved that couple. They were so fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how nurses leave.
I know.
Like,
and they just have to. I mean,
they
you can tell they don't want to.
Yeah. Oh,
but,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it gets easier.
Yeah.
Like,
probably.
A little bit later, but I actually talked about that with one of the nurses. I'm like, I know I said I was going to leave. I couldn't walk away.
Yeah. Like, I have to stay.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
There's, usually sometimes if it's going to happen like the next half an hour, they'll stay.
Yeah.
But, if it's not close, they can't.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be pregnant in the morning still. That's
like,
happened.
I'm coming back.
Yeah, but I'll be here in the morning.
Yeah.
But to have a doula, that's someone you've connected with.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to kind of bring with you your person.
Yeah. Well, you know them beforehand.
Yes.
And it's not like your partner. It's
yes.
someone different.
And hopefully it's someone that your partner has met and has got to express some of their fears too.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, partner fears are way different than mom fears, obviously. Yeah. Obviously, coming out with a healthy mom, healthy baby, I don't even like to talk about that because that's a given.
Yeah, you're like, no, that is obviously everybody's goal.
I'm like, that shouldn't, when you ask someone, every single person you ask, that's their number one goal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope, that's not.
You're like,
that's a given.
Yeah.
No one should hope for that.
Yeah.
It should be given.
Yeah.
Anyway, but partners, it's usually, I won't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I won't know what she needs. I won't know how to help.
Yeah.
And as a doula, I can kind of gauge that and see that. I have had partners where, honestly, I've had partners get kicked out of the room.
Really?
Yes, because they were kind of being babies and they were sitting there, oh my gosh, like acting like they're going to throw up.
Yeah, I'd kick them out too.
Yeah, and so I've had partners get kicked out. I've had partners where I seriously sat on the chair or the couch and told them exactly what to do, but stayed out of mom and dad's space because they got it. Like, they just needed some ideas here and there. So I've done like the spectrum of, have the partner be really close to mom, be near her face. I've had partners be, like I said, in the waiting room. I've had partners where I'm pretty much in the waiting room and they just kind of let me know, hey, this isn't working anymore. What's next? What do we do next?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. And so.
Well, that's good too, because like the nurses don't stay in there the whole time. Like
they
that kind of shocked me the first time. I was like, they're going to leave us. What? They're going to leave us in here alone?
Yeah, where are you going? I need to.
Yeah.
And that's another good thing, because you can have some amazing nurses that do know counter pressure and stuff. But most likely you're not the only patient on the floor that day.
Say they're going to have lots of patients.
Yes, they have to chart. I mean, that's a legality thing. Like, they don't want to chart. That's a good thing as a doula. I don't have to chart. As a midwife, I do. But that's one of my favorite things as a doula. I hate charting.
Yeah.
And so, you get this person who's with you the entire time. It's not leaving until you're good and taken care of. Like, it would take something pretty bad to drag me out of a birth.
Yeah.
So.
Have you ever had births overlap?
Let's see. Yes, but I wasn't, how was I supposed to put it? I was just kind of, so it was actually my sister and a client.
Okay.
So my sister went into labor and it was kind of I don't know if I want you there or not kind of a thing. And then I had a client in labor. So it just kind of worked out that way. And I went to her as soon as I was done. Actually, I think I went to her after I got a nap because it was actually a really long one. I had my baby 3 days later after this.
Wow.
Yeah. So I did a long birth.
I didn't realize so Trish.
Yeah.
Your babies are that close together?
Yeah, we're 3 days apart.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I knew they were close. I didn't know they were that close. That's so cool.
Super close. It's so fun.
Yeah.
It was seriously so fun. But yeah, I got to go see them in the hospital and like take her pizza and help with breastfeeding a little bit kind of a thing. But yeah, she wasn't like totally sure she wanted me there.
It's hard with a sister.
Yes. Yeah. And so like, and I've had clients whose sisters are doulas, but they hire me instead because they're like, I don't know with my sister. And so I really do get it because how many times do your sisters tell you something and you're like,
I'm not
You're
doing
so
that.
dumb.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to you.
Exactly.
And
you get it.
Yes, but then you have someone else tell you like the exact same thing. Oops, sorry. I hit the microphone.
You're fine.
I'm too big of a hand talker. But you have someone tell you the exact same thing, but they're not a family member, they're not a sister specifically. And like you'll listen to it.
Yeah, it feels different coming from them. Yeah.
It does. And so that was actually one of your questions on there is, would I be a doula for a family member?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. And I have been, but I haven't been for my sister specifically. And I actually think that was a good call because even so, like my cousin's wife, she's actually one of my favorites. I've been there for 3 of their babies now. And I love it. But even then, when it gets to that point, she's like, Ashley, I can't do this. I'll start crying. And I'm like, you got this, because I love them so much. Yeah, it's so much more personal. And like I said, with my first 2, my mom was there and I kind of had her as my doula. And that's when I realized that my mom, honestly, she's an amazing doula, but she's not a good doula for me.
Yeah.
I'm her baby. And like when she's hearing that her baby's going to have to be taken back for an emergency C-section,
she goes into mom mode, not
she goes into mom mode.
Yeah.
And she's crying and I'm crying. And I think Nash was in the cafeteria. I'm not even kidding.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, I need to be fueled for this.
We were talking about it long after. We were in a childbirth class after I think it was with our 3rd baby. And we were talking about dads and where they, like, what they do postpartum kind of a thing. And anyway, my husband said something about, after she had her C-section, after she was back for, I think, an hour, he said, him and my dad went to Arby's. I didn't know that. Like, because I was coherent, but not coherent at all. I remember maybe 45 minutes after my first was born, after my C-section, like I just have no memory. I just blacked out. Anyway, and he told me that, and I'm like, you went where? And he's like, your mom was there, and I'm like, oh, not
you
the
left
same.
me. You left me to get Arby's.
Yeah, apparently he left me to get Arby's. But anyway, having my mom, it wasn't the best, just because she gets kind of caught up in it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I've actually also done it for my aunts, which was really awesome. I have actually got to catch one of my cousins.
Really?
Yeah, so like, because my aunt was having a baby, and she let me, I was the midwife, or the midwife's assistant, and so I got to catch the baby. So I'm the oldest grandchild on that side of the family, and I got to catch the youngest.
Oh, cool. Well, like full circle.
Current, the current youngest. Yeah. It's too big of a family. We have too many babies popping out. Yeah. But anyway, that was really fun. And so those are some of my favorites.
Just the more personal.
Yeah, super personal. Lots of fun to be around and things like that. But like I said, for my sister, it's more of a like, hey, how you doing? Yeah. When she was in labor last time, she didn't even tell me.
Really?
Yeah.
She just didn't think about it?
Or? No, well, they were just good. They just did it on their own. She went into labor. They were at the lake for the day.
And she just was like, I'm going to the hospital now.
Yeah. So she said it was on their way home. She decided to go to the hospital.
Really?
Her brother and sister-in-law were following them home, and they texted, and she's like, hey.
Did she have like a bag with her?
No.
She just went?
Yeah, they just went. Anyway, she had an awesome, huge baby.
Yeah. How big was her baby?
I can't even remember, but he was over 8 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, which was just chunky because when she had her first, he was 7'3", I want to say, and I was teasing her. I don't have big babies necessarily. I think my first was 7'5", my second was 7'9", and my third was 7'9" as well. But anyway, I was teasing. I'm like, oh, that's such a tiny baby. And my fourth was 6 pounds, 3 ounces.
Yeah. That's so Ellie was 6 pounds, 5 ounces.
Yes.
And she was 18 inches. And Hudson was 21 and a half inches. And so when she was born, I was like, is she okay?
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. She just felt so tiny.
I can't remember. Cece wasn't small, like short, small. So like she looked like an Ethiopian baby. Like her fingers were so long.
So long and yeah.
But yeah, I remember just teasing her that Hayes was so small. And then she goes and has this 8-pound baby. Like he's so fat, and he's still fat.
Yeah.
He's so chunky.
I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think some sisters can be great for each other. It depends on your relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
But definitely family is something to consider, and you should never hire someone just because they are family.
Yeah.
Like that should never be.
It should be a good fit either way. Yeah. Like if they weren't family, you'd still hire them.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's how it is with my cousin's wife. Like, oh my gosh, I just love her.
Like have 50 babies.
They
please.
are just the most precious people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love that.
Anyway.
Let me see
what other. Fun.
What other questions?
I hope I've answered them well because, like, I seriously feel like I'm talking in this. I should have taken my ADHD meds.
No,
We're just all over the place.
This has been perfect because it's nice when we don't have to like stop and be like, okay, now this question, because it just kind of flows. And I think we've really hit pretty much everything.
Okay, good.
Oh, have you ever had a doctor push back?
Okay,
like
yes.
When you've been a doula?
Yes. Okay, so here's the big thing with doctors and nurses, I think, when it comes to doulas. Okay, so the benefit of working where I work is it's a very small community.
Yes.
And that actually is a benefit now. I have meetings with hospitals and meetings with the doctor, meeting with the nurses. They know me.
You know them pretty well.
Yes, now. Before, they're very, like, they've got their guard up. I've got my guard up because, you know, like, I've learned, doctors hate midwives, you know. Midwives, whatever, doulas. I can't even think.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so doctors don't like doulas.
Was that kind of the feeling you did get from them?
Yes, and so, like, I come up with, you know, my walls up.
Yeah.
Their walls are up. And so, like, you're kind of testing the waters. Yeah. Being overly kind of a thing. I've never had a doctor, like, push me out of the room by any means, or tell me to get out or anything like that. But I have had moms. So there are times that even doulas think their clients are crazy. Yeah. Like, we don't go in there with their birth plans. We did not make their birth plan. And I think that was a common misconception with doctors and nurses, is that this is, if you are my client, this is the birth you're going to have. Yeah. So it definitely helps when they see you more often and they see. That's kind of been one of the benefits of meeting with them. Like, hey, no, we thought she was crazy too, that she wanted to do that, but that's what she wanted, and I'm here to support that. And so they're like, oh, well, that actually helps that you think they're kind of crazy too. But yeah, there's been times that I have a client who likes to encapsulate her placenta, so I was getting ready to take it home with me, and her doctor's like, that's just a bunch of bull.
You're like, who cares what you think?
He's like, all the studies say that that's just a placebo. And there's lots of other studies that say it's not a placebo. Yeah. And I'm sure, like, I'm a firm believer that if you go to the internet, you're going to find what you were looking for.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. So, anyway, but that was her choice. And I didn't love that he said that in front of her. And he was acting like it was my decision. It's not my decision. Some of my clients encapsulate, some don't.
You're like, I even, with my own kids, I didn't always encapsulate.
I didn't, no. Yeah. And like, actually with my last, we encapsulated, but I've taken it very rarely just because it was just kind of a crazy time and you forget about it. But yeah.
I've heard, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that the hospital makes money off of placentas.
So, and I think it depends on the hospital, but there are some hospitals that do. I believe the hospitals like where I work, I don't think they do because they don't have the resources for like blood banking and things like that. Yeah. And anyway, cord blood has a lot of beneficial properties and things like that. And so that's one of the things they're making money off of as well. They might possibly, but not that I know of.
Yeah. But you've never had a doctor be like, we need that placenta.
No. Well, I have had them say it for testing for an infection.
Okay.
Yeah. And if it's infected, obviously it's not safe to encapsulate anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah. I've had one placenta that I've told a client, I really don't think this is a good idea. Yeah. Kind of a thing. And she still really wanted it. The biggest risk you're running with that is you're going to get like some food poisoning kind of symptoms.
Not fun.
But
not fun.
Like, who wants that postpartum, you know?
No. So, the worst.
I only do it if it's like, you can look at it and you're like, yep, this is a good one.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever actually seen mine before.
Yeah. Oh, I
should have asked the last time to look at it. But
if you have another baby, I recommend looking at it just because, honestly, the first time you look at one, you're like, oh, that's gross. Yeah. But
birth doesn't gross me out at all.
Cool. So. They're really, really, really neat, especially when you can kind of get the amniotic sac and you can see where your baby lived and then you can see the maternal side.
That's so cool.
That was hooked to you and just like how they all connect. It's really neat.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I really like that. But yeah, I've had that. I've had one nurse who we didn't get along super duper well. We had some time to talk after the birth and I was talking to her about, do you like doulas, because I've had some nurses that love doulas. They're like, having a doula makes my job so much easier.
Yeah.
I can just focus on the medical side of things. I don't have to be trying to help because I know my patient wants to have a natural birth.
Yeah.
And so I asked her about that, and she said, I feel like doulas keep us from connecting with our patient. Which I get to a point, but they're there for 12 hours.
Yeah.
You know, and this
You're there
client,
for the long run.
Yeah, I'm here for the whole, however long it's going to take. And so, and I'm there for that client when she goes home.
Yeah.
Too, you know, like that nurse.
Well, the more connection, the better. Like she can still connect with the patient. So.
Absolutely. There are some doulas that go in and they're like, no, my patient, you like, this is mine.
Yeah.
Another benefit of working with the hospitals we do is we've kind of built that rapport that they've been able to be like, hey, we just had a really bad experience with a doula. We've started, it's called a Uinta Basin Doula Association here. And so if they have that little name tag, the hospitals know they can get in touch with me or two of the other board members, and we'll talk to that doula and be like, hey, what happened? This is what we're hearing. Did you overstep? Did they overstep? Like, anyway, just kind of help to calm the waters there.
Yeah, that's really good.
Anyway, but yeah, we had a doula who was unhooking machines and yelling at nurses and things like that. And that is not a doula's role in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. But I really think we've been able to build some good bridges here. There's always more work to do on both sides. Yeah. But yeah,
sounds like you've got a really good thing going though.
Like, I really do. Like, it's getting better and better and better. We've just started working with, as far as like meetings and things like that since July, but we've met with them twice. I currently am talking to the head OB nurse, and we're going to get some other things going with the doulas and midwives. Doulas, midwives, and nurses, I should say. Yeah. That's been another good thing is our grandma's relationship to the hospitals. Like, anytime we have a meeting, I will slip in there, like, my grandma. And
she worked labor and delivery
forever.
Yeah. And I forgot that, like, when I had my first baby, and then she was asking me some stuff or telling me, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah. It's like, you were a labor and delivery nurse. Like, that's so cool.
Oh, yeah. Having her be a labor and delivery nurse, and then my midwifery side of things, when I have those hard, scary births, it's nice. I've been able to call her and talk to her, and that's been awesome. Yeah. But, yeah, I always like slip in Laurel Cranny.
Yeah. Got a name drop.
Yeah. It just helps to break the ice. Oh my gosh.
For sure.
Yeah. Like when we met with some of the people from Roosevelt, one of the guys, I can't even remember his name, but he worked with grandma, and he's like, oh, that's your grandma. Oh my gosh. Tell her I say hi and I'll let her know. And anyway, it's fun. I've had actually one of the nurse anesthetists over in Vernal. He was talking about when he was in medical school, and he said in Detroit, and I'm like, when were you in medical school in Detroit? And like we kind of go through that. And our uncle was actually like, was he his resident or something like that?
But they knew each other?
Like Mike was higher than him. He knew Mike. Okay. Like Mike was like a training, like someone who was training people at that point kind of a thing.
That's so cool.
Anyway, it's just like you make little connections like that. And that really helps to break the ice. And I guess that's the benefit of working in a small community. Yeah. Is getting that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So, but then you know everyone and their dog and their business. So.
You're like, I've seen everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've got most of the questions, unless there's anything else you want to add on.
I can't think of anything other than, seriously, if you ever decide to have a doula, sorry, that was my son's friend. If you ever decide to have a doula or a midwife, anyone, you have interview multiple.
That's good advice.
Don't just interview one. I would say 3 minimum. And then go with who you want. And if you run into a doula that you tell them, hey, I'm also interviewing another one, and they're like, oh, what? Like offended? That's a red flag.
Yeah, that is a red flag.
Yeah. So
have you ever had a client drop you? Like
I haven't. Well, let's see. Not prenatally or even postpartum. I've had clients not hire me back for the next pregnancy, if that makes sense. Most of those were ones that like I did the birth for free when I was training, and then they got with me and they're like, hey, how much do you charge? And
they're like, never mind.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, just kidding. Yeah. Cause there's a big difference from free to what I charge.
Yeah. Well, you deserve to be paid for sure. It's a huge service.
It definitely is. And to honestly getting paid what I'm worth, if that makes sense. That's been a challenge for me.
Because you never want to like charge more. Yeah.
Yes. But I always do payment plans. I always work with people I'm willing to barter, like I've had people do family pictures and things like that for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but yeah, trade childcare.
That's
So,
nice.
yeah.
That's good that you're willing to do
Yes.
that even. So.
Well, and then I like having, like I said, the volunteer doula situation at the one hospital. I'm able to do that when I charge what I charge for the other ones. If I don't do that, I can't help the community in any way, if that makes sense. So
that makes total sense.
Yeah.
So.
There are times, even family, like there's been a couple of times that I've been in a position to be like, hey, I'll do yours for free. But then there's been other times that I'm like, I'm so sorry.
I can't. I don't.
Can't.
Yeah.
Like, if you want me, I'd love to be there. But we have so much going on during that time.
Yeah.
Here's my
payment.
Here's my
yeah.
price.
No, that's good.
That's
good.
But no, I think that's like the biggest thing. Make sure you interview and just go with who you click with the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Don't go with who's cheapest.
Get what you pay for.
Yep, get what you pay for. There's a midwife in Bluebell who's been doing this longer than I have, who obviously charges more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
And you get what you pay for, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
She's been, I don't even know how many births she's done, probably thousands.
That's so crazy. That's so cool, though.
Yeah.
So is this something you want to do? Like, do you want to do it forever?
Yes. So I've taken breaks here and there. Like, I took a break a year after I had my last baby. I think with both of my daughters, I took a year off.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I'm coming back, because like I said, super clingy baby.
Yeah, that's
this
hard to get away.
past year is my year back, if that makes sense. And I've gone so slow. I think I only did 7 births in the last year.
See, to me, I'm like, that's so many.
Yeah, see, I'm like, that's like really low.
Uh-huh.
And like I just go little by little, make sure the connection's there, like I said, because if it's not, that's when you're going to get burnt out as a doula, as a midwife. You're going to be like, oh, they didn't even listen to me. They didn't do like,
well, it's not a good
that
experience
wasn't
for
good.
anyone.
Yeah, exactly. So that's been really awesome. But yeah, I've done all the different kinds of births, and I'm definitely going to be sticking with birth work in one way or another.
Yeah. However that looks.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you've got lots of hats you can wear and lots of different things you can do with
sometimes
it, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a problem sometimes, but but thank you so much for being willing to
hey, you drove all the way out here.
my family lives here, so it's not too bad.
Benefit.
But no, I really appreciate it. I love
Absolutely.
hearing about birth. I know a lot of people, like a lot of my friends, we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
So they're gonna love listening to this. So
awesome.
I'm
Yep.
excited.
I'd be happy anytime, and we'll do another one, just birth stories.
That's a great idea.
Because you have no idea how many I've got.
Yes. No, I love that. And I know people love hearing birth stories.
Yeah.
So
hey, they had a whole TV show about it.
That's
so.
true. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yep.
And have a good day.
Thank you.
I never know how to end.